Welcome to our Devos. We're going to conclude this week on how to think of trouble when you're in the middle of something and when you're struggling and when you find that you feel like it's getting the best of you. You can choose your thoughts. You can choose how to process this. You can choose how that outcome looks, not what happens, but how the outcome looks by the way you think about trouble. Now, today I want to give you the secret, the ultimate secret when it comes to going through trouble, and the only thing that is the silver bullet to going through trouble. You have to insulate yourself. You have to insulate yourself. Notice I didn't say isolate yourself. Trouble often is the time that you most ought to connect with people and try to reach out to people. Connect to people in your life group. Connect to people in counseling. That's some of the times that you really have to do it even more. You have to do things that fill your bucket when you're going through trouble. You have to do fun things. You have to get a hobby. You have to do some of those things. But you have to insulate yourself. What does that mean? Well, that means that you have to realize that the Holy Spirit is with you and that He's there to protect you. And you have to be so delighted in who you are in the Lord and so connected to Him that you're impenetrable. Like there's a part of you that's impenetrable. Now, this is a tightrope because some people, you're impenetrable just because you're apathetic towards people. And you really don't care about people. You don't care about anything. And you were like, I'm insulated. That's not insulated. Insulated is when you're so confident in the Lord that you can care about people, that you can care about what's going on in your life, but your confidence is resting in your relationship with Him and not in what happens in your life. It says in Psalm chapter 46, verse 1, God is our refuge and strength and a very present help in trouble. He's our refuge. That's where you go. It's a place that's completely closed. I do this thing, and this is a weird thing. I do many weird things, but this one is kind of weird. I'm bad with recreation. Jamie and I were talking the other night, and she was like, I think you need to get like a hobby. I don't really do hobbies well. There's something I do that I enjoy, and I don't do it frequently. Now, this is convicting me to say that I should probably do it more, but there's this thing that I'll go to. It's called a float pod. It's a sensory deprivation pod where you go into this, and it's like I don't like, if I'm having problems with my back or problems with anything, I don't like going somewhere where I have to be touched. I don't like that. So I'm not against if you need to go for massage therapy or whatever, but this sensory deprivation float pod is you kind of go in this little pod and it's private. You go in there and it's loaded with all this salt water. And the salt water has properties in it that, of course, reduces inflammation. And when you go in this pod, you float. Well, when you go in, the pod is like, I can't describe it, but it's almost like a spaceship, a little mini spaceship, like any space movie you've ever seen. And you lay in there and you shut the lid, and all of a sudden you're kind of in this space, and it's completely silent. It's completely shut off. There's no light in there. I mean, you could turn the lights on, you could keep music on, you could do whatever, but you're completely insulated. And when I'm in there, I can't do anything. Like I can't read, can't return text messages. You can't have your phone in there. I mean, you can have your phone on the table, but you can't be texting in there. And I have nothing to do except for just be in that moment. And it's really, really hard. I've gotten myself to a place where I can't do it silently, but I'll put an audiobook on or I'll put some music on and I'll listen. But here's the truth. The insulation of that is the way you have to be with the Lord. You have to insulate to the point where no matter what happens out here, even in my own family, nothing is getting to me because of Him. He is insulating me. He has sealed me. He is protecting me. He is loving me. And if you focus on how He has insulated you with His presence, and as the scriptures say that He has sealed you through His Spirit, then you can say trouble will not impact me because He truly is my refuge. He truly is my strength. And I'm insulated by the presence of the living God.